And welcome back. Picking up where we left off last time in Factorio, where we got 3 techs left to do. We probably don't actually in practice need to build the fusion reactor, but we need to research the technology for it. And then we need to build the ship to go to where we need to go. Which sounds simple enough. Anyway, I think I managed to mute the mic before I sneeze there. So, ship-wise, this is probably not going to be its final form, but this should be enough. Some modifications. We got some bits in here that can probably get removed just to simplify the construction a little bit. The guns are all normal type. Still have requests for accumulators. But I got rid of the accumulators already. Oh, I got them squeezed in up here. That makes sense. Obviously, we're going to put accumulators in here. They're going to be normal ones, or we're going to go over to Fulgura to pick them up. So we got turrets. That's easy enough to pick up. We just got to go to Fulgura, or we can bring them over. We also don't need them until we go to Fulgura, so we just need them assigned place-wise. Everything for the drivetrain, in theory, is on board. It's implying. I don't think so. It might be saying, hey, you need to get the stuff that goes into the drivetrain first, but yeah. And anyway, we need to get the bullets out to the turrets. And then this should be flyable. We can fly it over to Vulcanus now that it has the drivetrain to make it a little bit faster to build. And then if we need more space, and well, we'll need more space. We will need more space on this ship, I think, to power the or to fuel the turret. We can actually just sort of pick the back end up off the ship and just push it down. Is probably the solution. Because that should be easy enough to do over Vulcanus. The problem was that we didn't have enough ammunition coming in to protect the ship. Changing the polarity here. I think we're going to push everything to the front and then back. And then work back from there. Yeah, one of the things we're doing while we're waiting for the science to be made, specifically the Fulgurant science to be made, is designing the ship. Okay, so now it is in theory got some grabbers and stuff. That's good to see. Guess we can operate something that looks like so. Yeah, okay, I need to put one more bolt on that side, but that's easy to do. And both sides, actually. Okay, that isn't necessarily going to be a very functional ship. We still need to do some asteroid processing so that we can get ice and metal and carbon and stuff. Down here to the powertrain. But we're not in a super rush to do that. How's the pile of stuff on Bellow? Not enough for delivery yet. What's Gleba looking like? Gleba is ready for delivery, so we're waiting for something to get to Gleba. What's taking you so long? Oh, actually, you can just get flipped to... Or that'll get you moving faster. This is the Inner System Freighter, which is working on gun turrets reasonably well. But for the outer systems, we need the new fancy rockets and railguns. And that's what we're working... Well, not necessarily on Fusion Plan, but for the thing after Fusion Plan, we'll need railguns for. I think we're going to have to... Well, on this ship, we're going to have to build a better... or more effective crushing setup, I think. Otherwise, we're going to have semi-struggle with making it work the way we want it to. Arguably, at this point... Actually, we have access to red undergrounds here, so we'll do red underground just to run you up there. Let's see, for emerging perspective... How do I want to do this? Yeah, I think we might do something more like a sushi belt. Actually, we don't really care about output priority. Well, output priority, right, makes sense. Because there's not going to be anything on the left. So, left in, okay. How do I want to do this? Maybe a question here is how many do I need to make this work? So, right now, we need 14 iron every 10 seconds. So, the iron process here, if we just... Well, we don't have any industry on here, so we just need iron, we just need carbon. Ice is the only weird one, because we do need ice and calcite. Yeah, we need ice and calcite, which is that makes that one weird. So for the other two, it's fairly easy. We need 14 a second. One of these makes 10 a second. So we need 2 of them. Fair enough. 2 of those operating on that. So 2 of those. For the other thing, is it also 2? Because we still need 14 carbon. Same sort of thing, right? 14 carbon. Yeah, okay. So it's 2 of those and 2 of those. Cool. And then the ice and calcite's going to be its own special problem, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, no way did I leave enough space to do what I think I want here. Could have had 1 more space. Maybe 2 more to shift the whole side of the ship over by 2. Actually. Now, if we were on any other planet, that would have been a semi-dangerous thing to do. But because we're over novice, and this is one of the reasons we are over novice, that's fine. We can work that. That doesn't have too much room there. And then we obviously want to do the same on the other side for the same sort of reasons. So that's where it was, 1 and 2. Oh, and I suppose I don't need the space between them, right? So we don't need that space. We can get rid of that space. Saves a few launches. Yeah. Also saves a few launches over there. Same thing over here. Well, I say a few. Might actually only be like 1, maybe 2. There we go. Okay, that gives us the space to get some stuff down. Whether we really want to get stuff down is maybe a different question. Or where we want to get it down, for example. But yeah, we need 2 carbon, 2 iron. And then if we say that is calcite, that is carbon, so we got no space to run. Yeah, we got no space to run the return. And I don't think we might actually... Will you go across the whole thing? No, the blue one would, I think. The new turbo one would. Not that I have any of the turbo ones. Maybe a good way to think about that. Turbo one would reach, but we don't have it to grow. That makes sense. Okay, so that does mean that our return is going to have to go out and around the main base right now. No, actually, no. Well, actually, yeah, we'll send it up around the outside like so. No, we didn't replace that bit yet. Okay, sorry for the mute there. We had a spam caller, I think, calling. Anyway, because I suspected they were spam caller, didn't even bother to try picking them up. Okay, so these guys probably want to just grab off of the belt. Is this the iron side or the carbon? This is the carbon side. Okay. So I'll have to put the type then. That's easy enough to do. So this is going to be carbon. Just simple carbon. Yeah. To be fair, this only needs to be good enough to get us back to Vulcanus. So don't necessarily want this to be perfect. Actually, I'll make you the carbon. Well, no, because I need ice there. Okay, no, carbon's gonna be inside then. So inserters, that's bypass line. So that's gonna be ice. This has gotta be... Okay, and then we need calcite. Oops. Wrong button. It's meant to hit R. There we go. They can stop hitting T. So ice, the thing for the engine, calcite. So that's the roads, so you need to be... Okay, I probably want to do this a little bit differently then, because otherwise we're not going to be able to get these in here reliably, well, easily enough. So is the... Oh, I know how we're going to do it. We just need to pick this up and rotate it. So we can move the thing over one end. And I don't need any space for anything, because we're not going to do the trick codes like I'm doing. Or... Oh, yeah, no, we'll put the space between them. Good idea. 2, 3... And yeah, we're going to have 3 belts come through here like this. So... That one's the ice. That one's... carbon, and that's... calcite. This will be the return. Redhead's getting stuff off of it. Then we need a grabber. You're going to be assigned, filtered to only grab, in this case, the carbonic asteroid. And then from the long one, do something like that. And then you'll be filtered to only grab the carbon. And then intake can be pretty much anything. Well, anything that sorts, right? Okay, so with that, we've got carbon fed into the engine. Kind of need to basically duplicate the same thing but the other side. Of course, this won't be carbonic asteroids, so this will be the metallic asteroids. And literally will be running the other way, trying to put stuff back on the belt again. Some of the reasons. Output priority, left. Then you won't be that asteroid type, it will be that asteroid type. And you won't be carbon, you'll be iron. And that should just... That may... Oh, that will... Oh, okay, there we go. My ship isn't symmetrical. Okay. Well, we do... That works. Okay. Magic of hotkeys. Yep, that should otherwise work. Almost. What do I get for trying to cut corners? Not everything quite works. There we go. That'll work. That'll get those things down there in roughly the right order. And then obviously now you need some grabbers. Now the hard one is the balance of the calcite and the ice. Because we need a lot of ice. Don't need as much calcite apparently, because well, it's well, actually, still 14 calcite a second. Yeah, that's actually a lot of calcite. That's a lot of calcite. Now I'm thinking about it, because that grab the crusher again to look at the ratio. So for the calcite, it's 2 every 5. We need 14 a second. So in comparison to the old... Yeah, these ones make like 10. Now we need... It's 2.5 times the speed. Or it's 2.5 times slower. And produces half so much stuff. So I actually need 5 times as many just making calcite. Five times as many just making calcite. Okay, so that means we need 10 making calcite. So 10 of you need to be on the advanced. So it's like 5 aside. Oh, and I haven't left any space for return. Well, actually, the space for return is pretty easy. We just do 2 instead of 1 space. So we do 2 like that. Okay. And then that will be making... Wait. Yeah, okay. Well, actually, no, that's perfectly matching the speed of this, which is actually a little fast, because we're not going to necessarily eat it at that rate. Yeah, we're not necessarily eating it at that rate. Because it's 14... So this will make 20 a second. So we'll actually have extra calcite made this one. Because we're generating 5 to 2. 2.5, yeah, 5. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And then 50% more ice, but we need more ice. We legitimately just need more ice than we need everything else, I think. So 1 ice per second per water maker. 5, 10, 16 water makers, so we need 16 ice a second. And we got 10 of those, so that makes 30 ice every 5 seconds, which is 6 a second. So we actually need 10 more ice production. Then that will produce, which does mean I'm going to need some pure crushers as well, just for ice or just for water production, ice production. Okay, let's move this a little bit in. So instead of 1, 2, we're gonna go full 3 in. There's a little bit of logic in there. And the logic here is that we're gonna make more ice chunks. As always, I don't think we make enough. Outside is the calcite. So this is the calcite line. We'll say this is the ice line, this side. Why aren't we vertically lining up the same? Don't know. Okay, well, it looks like that should work anyway. Okay, and you are only ice. And you'll only be calcite. Which is... It's in the same place where it was last time, I'm just forgetting exactly where it was. There it is. Okay. And again, we can sort of duplicate it over the other side as I was trying to redesign the thing. Just mirrors of each other right now. And I think we're wanting... What's the probability for the ice refiner? Ice... Oh, we're gonna have to look in a crusher to look at it, aren't we? So... 40% chance of turning... Oh no, I want to turn things into ice. 20% chance every 2 seconds to turn the other stuff into ice. And that's every 2 seconds. So how many oxide asteroids do I need? So that's 1 every 5. One every 5. Happens to be times 5, so that actually makes it easy. So we need 2 of those. For both sides. And then for this one, we need 1 every 2 seconds, but we got 2, so we need a total of 4. 4 total. And that would be 20% chance, so actually averaging, expecting, having to multiply by like 5. So we need like 20 being made that way. Or at least 20 recipes going that way every second. So 40. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Otherwise, I'm gambling on the amount of ice we produce. That's been a problem before, where we don't have enough ice production. Okay, I have an idea on how to do this. It is 20, it is a lot. But maybe that's the point, is maybe we don't worry too much about it being a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we get like a 10th one over here. 10th one over here. Okay, so this is going to work by returning to that lane. At least on this one. I suppose in this case this is going to be ice, so we can just take ice, put ice back. Right, off of that one. And this should only be ice. So I can just filter this, just do the oxide asteroids. Okay, well, I can do that. That's workable. Fusion reactor finished, okay. Don't suppose this would fit up the... It'd fit up the middle short one. And that short one makes a big difference. Well, I say it makes a big difference. It doesn't actually make that big of a difference. Well, then I don't have the space for it. Okay. No, so this is going to have to go here. Before we start getting those going, let's get the inside labeled properly. So you're going to be a blacklist instead of a whitelist. And you're going to take, or don't take specifically, the oxide. Okay. I want to use the same kind of over here. Oops, too far. Oops, that's the wrong recipe. Ah. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's the wrong recipe. There's an easy fix to this. We just went ahead and accidentally tossed a bunch of carbon on the thing, so we're just gonna set up an insider to clean the carbon up slowly. And copy it a few dozen times. I don't have enough power. Oh, well, of course I don't have enough power. There's no water going to the fission power plant doesn't work with any water. Yeah. Fission power plant doesn't work with any water. I just realized, you know, space that side. Okay, that's an easy fix. That is an easy fix. We're just gonna go tell that whole side to shimmy. Okay, now that's functional again. Yeah, because the ship is quite symmetric. Looks symmetric, and it's mostly symmetric, but it's not quite around certain assets. Mainly because certain things are just odd. Right, so this is 3, 1, 3. This is only 7 wide on a middle of ship. The ship's even spaced. odd number things in even space shift, yeah. That actually means we have water, which actually means we have power! Until the ice runs out, which is going to be very soon. Yeah, until the ice runs out, which is going to be very soon. So let's duplicate. That should work. Grab you, flip you, should just be slap in the hole. Yeah. Some redesign is going to have to go on here, because I think we're going to swap this over from Gabarnik to the metallic. So the one problem about this design, how I've just set it up, is unlike the carbon, or unlike the carbon side, we're going the wrong way, right? So we're not making carbon first and then processing leftover carbon. Kind of going the wrong way around. You know, if I wanted to keep with the symmetry angle, I could probably deal with that. That wouldn't actually be too bad. Yeah, okay, I got an idea that will maybe make this work a little bit better. Again, the ship is mostly symmetric, not completely symmetric. Okay, no, we're gonna have to just go that method. Yeah, we're just gonna go that method. So the thought process here is that we're just going to run the two sides opposite rotations to each other. So it goes past the right thing first. Plans. And then this middle section is going to be mainly for handling the overflow. Okay, so we know the right side here. We're actually going to do a filter mix. Make this even more super targeted. So you go that side. I'm going to split you, but we know for this side of the split, we're going to run ice. Not ice, metallic. Oh no, actually, carbon. Carbon we're going to run. No. Yeah, metallic. Metallic, right word. And then you going left side will be iron. No, I don't really want you. You don't filter. Oh, but this is going to be kind of flipped. In a way, it actually kind of works better flipped. Yeah, okay. Wait. Oh, no, yeah. Never mind. This one did probably one too many times. Yeah, one too many times. Deal back on. So I can see when I screwed up. Which is that. That screwed up. I think that's always screwed up. Yeah, so if I flip that, then I should just be able to do click like that. Okay. Oh, I see. I think I have an even better way to do this. Well, I say better way. Is it actually going to be a better way? Okay, so I'm going to put you there. And then a U there. So that I can move you up. So we can put a filter. Okay, then I just need to flip the state of those two. There we go. Okay. And I can do the same, kind of the same over here as well. So I might stick it someplace else. Yeah, okay. So for the moment here, we're going to remove this filter. That's not the final place for that one, but we're going to put a filter where the ice oxide one. Place it there. The metallic one there. And we'll put a bypass here so it doesn't block up. And then this needs to be ice processing. Doing the reprocessing so that we don't ever get completely full on ice. I've definitely got head space. Got enough that I can stick, say, 2 in here. I don't necessarily need to have the grabbing space to make that work, I suppose. Okay, let's do something that looks like this. So these will be our ice reprocessing, oxide reprocessing. This one's not, this is just to make sure we don't kind of back up on everything that isn't oxide. I suppose how I have this one set up, this one, there's going to be no ice coming through here, is there? No. So I should do arm on the top side. And then long-handled. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do long-handled arrows. We'll have problems. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, we're just going to run them. Run them the other way. Like so. Oxide, oxide. Drop, and drop. Okay. So that should be functioning. And we can see that it's some degree functioning because we've got water starting to stockpile. And dry fuel starting to stock. Oh, in fact, the dry fuel is stockpiled. We're just stockpiling water to run the fission power plants off of. I'm gonna drop one of these. We don't necessarily need it, but this allows me an easy way to check power state. So we got 188 megawatts of potential power. And we're consuming fractional portions of that at the moment. And now just to wrap the bullets around. Oops. Okay. So that gets us over there. There. Then space-wise, fill in the void so it'll build properly. Fill in the void so it'll build properly. Okay, we have some dumps on the back here that apparently in our current design we don't need. Yeah, that should be a functional spaceship. Aquila is probably ready for us to go pick up. Oh, it isn't. We're out of lights. That's potentially a problem. Need a better ice sink, apparently. Well, better cryogenic sink. That's one option, I suppose. Let's set that back up. We can set that up by in a distance. If oh, no, I don't have the heat plant there anymore, do I? We can probably move it around and make it work anyway. Where's the cryogenic plants? There's the cryogenic plant. Make one of these as a solid fuel and ammonia sink. That eats some ammonia, which gives us some relief and allows us to start making more ice. Do I have space to sneak a pump in there? I think I do. Don't have any pumps on the planet, that's a different problem. So my thought process potentially sticking a pump in there is that we can tell it to be controlled to turn on off. So it doesn't eat all the ammonia. Because ammoniated brine we have infinite of. Ammonia, which is the post-process of making it, we don't necessarily have. But for the moment, I think we're still good. Well, I could go deliver more tungsten carbide to make more of these quantum processors. That's what we're short on, is I think the tungsten carbide. Okay, let's get the Bob Fizzle moving for that sort of thought process. Let's go to Vulcanus, get some tungsten carbide. In the meantime, I think this ship... Okay, it doesn't have enough water, because we're not getting enough asteroids, what it looks like. Not enough asteroids, and we probably don't have enough bullets. Yeah, we're probably having bullet delivery issues. So I'd say the ship should be ready to fly, and it's like, well, except for the fact that you're relying on the stockpile of bullets that you don't have to safely fly. Of course, that is the term safely. Unsafely, probably could. Because we now have a decent nuclear power plant on here, so we could rock this thing up with a bunch of laser turrets, and then it might safely go somewhere. Some laser turrets as a fallback in case the bolts run out. Doesn't sound like too crazy of an idea. Yeah, other than ice, I think it is... Well, other than ice and bullets, we're ready to go. Actually, you know what? From a filter standpoint, that works pretty well. So, everything that it... Well, everything comes through here. Preference to go through here. So if there's ice, it goes into there. Otherwise, it goes to the right side. If it's metal and not ice, then it'll go through there. Else, everything goes that way to go this way, through here, down here, around here. Where we go through the if ice, go that way. And in fact, I could make this a little bit more... No, I don't have the space to do the 3 wide here. 3 wide is what we need to make it work. So I think potentially doing something somewhere over here is here, so we can get just the ice off. But yeah, so suppose the problem here is that this one could stop working. We don't have enough ice coming off. But then that should be fine, because then these don't get fed, and if these don't get fed, then we don't have the ice to feed the things that... Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I think this should work. Just need a lot of bullets. A lot of bullets, a lot of... Well, we almost got uranium fuel up here, so just a lot of bullets. Just need piercing rounds. And find that one offending solar panel. That's the wrong type. Not that that can't be a solar panel, it just can't be it has to be a normal solar panel. They're loaded. Don't think we necessarily need the stuff from Fulgura. Don't necessarily have the space for the stuff from Fulgura. Okay, well, let's just go straight to Aquila. We have... Oh, I see what's going on. We have, we're having power problems when we have water problems. Because the major power source is boiling water. As you do. Okay, looking at the time, I've just realized I've been recording for an hour. So it's probably a good time to put a part break in for YouTube. So we'll... if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang on. I'm going to take a short break and then we're going to get right back to recording for probably another 30-40 minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, this is one of the pop-up episodes for trying to record and finish this up. Because I'm thinking, oh, we're like 4 techs out. And at this point, we're 2 techs out. So the main thing to do is to finish these researches up and get this ship ready to go to the system edge. The big thing this ship is now missing to go to the system edge is the ability to make its own ammo. Which, if there's anything I'm learning from our design here, is I need more space. And I think the solution to more space is we're actually going to take it over to Vulcanus and load it up with more tiles, if that makes sense. Don't necessarily need to go faster. In fact, we can probably take it going slower. We've got plenty of engines in the back here for a nice coast. But yeah, improving this ship here is basically going to be the thing that's going to take probably the most amount of time. Because the techs, as long as I marker them enough, will finish on their own. So until the next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.